Da, da, theme song, theme song. Da, da, da.
I'm Tanya,
I'm Nikki.
and we're A Thousand Eyes in One, the podcast.
Podcast.
We've reached the penultimate episode of Wheel of Time, Season 3, Episode 7, Goldeneyes, or as Nikki calls it, The Two Rivers Kicks Ass. For previous episodes, find us at thousandeyespod.bsky.social. On YouTube, you can find us at A Thousand Eyes in One Podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are A Thousand Eyes in One on Instagram and Facebook, Thousand Eyes Pod on Blue Sky, and if you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, follow Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.
Yeah. But Goldeneyes, Tina Turner, shout out to that James Bond movie that gave birth to this song on that soundtrack. Not the movie itself, but, the soundtrack. And
Soundtracks matter.
Yeah, they do. And I had no episode disappointments with this episode. Like none of the royalty-free shit appeared on here. But I'd like to hear your complaint.
It was a plot thing, but we'll get to it.
Yeah. Music matters.
So the Two Rivers fortifies the square. The Tuathuan show up seeking refuge and offering no
Spit
help
on the ground.
I laughed at that.
Cowards. They're like, we will not even sully the tips of our spears.
Yeah, she said we would never. Would she say no? Aiel would dirty herself with the lost one.
Like, ew.
Yeah, and like everybody's getting ready. We got the wolf banner. What did you think of the wolf banner?
I liked it. I
Yeah.
liked it. I was surprised to see it, but it gave me like a little jolt of pride that they have a cause to rally around,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't even know that he's a wolf person yet.
No, and it's supposed to be the red eagle.
It's supposed to be the red ego of Manetheren, but it's funny because he comes back with these unexplained golden eyes, and they're just like, you know what? He's a light eyes now. He's in charge. Sanderson. He must be a lord. Like, look at him. He came back. He left with the other ones. The other ones aren't dead. And he came back with these eyes. So he must be the chosen one.
Or a dark friend,
Or
as
a
some of
dark
them
friend.
thought.
That's true.
Because why did your eyes change
Yeah.
if you're not into shenanigans?
Yeah. I mean, and I guess they know actually very little about dark friends, like what the
Right.
makeup,
What do they know? Yeah.
They don't know. Like, this could be the marker.
Right. We
But
meet the new
yeah.
wisdom, who's a
She could
drunk, which was
channel.
kind of funny.
I love a drunk channeler.
Yeah. I was looking forward to some drunk channeling actually. So a
Yeah.
little bummed that we didn't get, you know how they do like the drunken master, like kung fu
Yeah.
stuff in movies. Like I was
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
forward to some like drunken channeling. So sad that we didn't get that.
Me too. But it makes me wonder, like, as a wisdom, has she been like secretly, like, her powers are making her like heal somebody like on the low and she doesn't realize? Has she seen her weave? Has she just never been in a situation where she realized that she could do it and then suddenly, I would have loved to hear her story a little.
What I thought was possibly happening would be similar to Nynaeve, where she doesn't realize she's doing healing because
Yeah.
she's probably never seen any weaves before.
Yeah.
Because there's never been any Aes Sedai, and the little girls weren't really channeling like that. So, you know, maybe she didn't realize that that's what she was doing.
Yeah. Like drawing all the arrows to yourself.
Exactly.
Exactly. Shout out to Kaladin. Yeah, it's fun to see like she's trying to train the girls like, but the other chick threw lightning, and this is a battle in combat. This is a combat situation. And I get that we can heal, but like we want to defend the two rivers too. So you have these people learning this lesson that, you don't have to be a fighter to be effective in battle.
Right.
Although, if you are going to fight and there's someone who knows better than you should probably listen to that person.
Yeah. And I think that Alana was definitely right in not trying to teach little girls battle weaves and make like little child soldiers because
Yeah.
one, they're just too young and
Hmm.
they're too untrained. They probably burned themselves out by accident, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we already said Alana is a great teacher. So, and we were right that they would start training people to fight.
Hmm.
I see her and Maxim made up or whatever.
I was here for it. I was actually really happy about it. Like, finally. This couldn't last forever. This is for the greater good. We might as well be on like speaking terms. Um, yeah, and I was also excited to see them like, doing their spear training and like
Hmm.
shitting on it too.
Like, give us a longbow, bro.
Yeah, I like that they're in that with like the Aiel in this way, right? They're like, we have a tradition. This is our
Hmm.
tradition. Stop trying to make us do other shit and listen to us. Like we might be farmers and non-combatants, but there is something that we're good at, and maybe you should have asked that question first.
Hmm. Make your way isn't the only way.
Mm-hmm. White Tower propaganda.
Oh
Uh,
man, so much going on. Ela and Aram are back.
mhm.
Ela's being judgy to Aram because he's like eating the meat stew. I
I
was
love
I
how
was
she was
laughing
like, exactly.
when she picked out all the bits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Well,
happens when you're vegetarian
no,
and
it's so
someone makes a
funny
stew.
because your mom did that for me since I don't eat beef. She made a beef stew and I was like, "Oh, I don't eat beef." And so she picked out all the beef and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
I ate it.
yeah,
I'm a polite girl. But I was like,
yeah,
"Oh no."
yeah. And it's happened to me many times. Like, oh, well, just pick this. I'm like, that doesn't. Okay, fine,
Yeah.
fine. It's
Like,
not worth the argument.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure it was delicious. I've
It's
had
like my
that too.
grandma would say, it's not meat, it's chicken.
Mm. I love that. But they're back. I just don't see myself living the way of the leaf. Like I
No,
believe the philosophies and I understand there's a gentle world and that if you can avoid a fight, that you should. But to
I
not
agree.
defend your people and the children that you came in here with, like just like leave them out there like, oh well, that one got picked up. It's like they don't even bury their dead. They just move on.
Right. Let's talk about some pre-battle stuff. Perrin is super worried that everyone's going to die because of him, which I think is probably amazingly stressful.
Yeah, a little bit.
And
A little bit.
I was very annoyed with Fail because I thought she was super out of pocket bringing up his wife.
Battle's coming. Get the shit off your chest.
Yeah, but like, don't bring up the dead wife. It wasn't necessary. If he had slapped her, I'd be like, I get it. JK, JK,
Uh,
JK.
I mean, it was out of pocket. I wasn't mad at it though. You need to shake him into like the awareness of what this is and also make him realize that someone can choose to fight. And I think that's her point. You should be scared because
Yeah.
she's not a big baby, but you should be scared because these are your people. You're being forced in a situation to lead them. They are willing to follow you.
Hmm.
And maintaining that fear is going to actually work out for you in that battle. But you also have to realize that they out there decided. They're like Maya Lauren. They chose,
We chose.
you know?
Yeah, I think the reason why it bothered me is I understand that Perrin needs to pull it together, but we also have
Mm-hmm.
to remember that Perrin isn't a soldier. She's like a career soldier. Perrin is a guy
Okay.
who's been into a couple fights, you know,
Big ones, though.
big ones. Yeah, big ones. But like he didn't train for this. He was just thrown
Yeah.
into it.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't an army, it's his family,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, I imagine it's hard to go into it with that kind of mentality of just like, just
Yeah.
push through when it's all of the people you've grown up with and loved, So I felt him. I just thought she was out of pocket with her little tiny self
I love
and
that
her
she's so tiny.
and her mullet.
I love everything about her. Like she's so cute and just like an unconventional way for me. And I'm just like, look at this girl's lips.
She's like a little
Mm,
sprite. She kind of reminds me of Megan.
absolutely. She reminds me of Megan
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
I've been thinking that since we met her, that she reminds me of Megan, like this tiny ferocious sprite.
Yeah, that's how she would be in the Two Rivers, like in
Yeah.
battle in general. Yeah. General Megan. Yeah.
So Lord Luke, Bornhold, they show up. They don't want to fight. They're like, "What Trollocs? Trollocs? What Trollocs?"
Hmm.
And it took me a second to realize, duh, they're not seeing them because Pat and Fane has them holding off.
Yeah.
I was very nervous about that. Bornhald's little drunk self, he's so dirty. I know we
He's so
talked about that
dirty.
last time, but like
Yeah, just
the
like,
white cloaks are supposed to be so clean. That's how we've always seen
mhm.
them, and he's so filthy. His father would not be happy with that.
No, and I think that's the point, right? It's just to see him diverging from his father's path and like, just in his mind, I think maintaining this righteous mission, but also not seeing the point because he's grieving, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
basically what was it Fael said? She's like, you can mourn for the dead or you can fight for the living, but you can't do
You can't
both.
do both.
And he's sucking at everything right now because he's still really fucking angry. And of course he wants a drink. But it made me wonder because I'm like, y'all still ain't seen any Trollocs? And Pat and Fane just said they fought one. So did he actually fight the Tuathathon? Was that who they killed on the way in? Was that raid what happened?
Which one's Pat and Fane and his people?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they killed the white cloaks that were coming for as reinforcement.
Hmm.
That's where they got their white cloak uniforms.
Okay.
Yeah, they just killed them all.
Okay. Then it was just local Trollocs that attacked them.
To the Tuathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was Pat and Fane's Trollocs have been hanging out away
Yeah,
from
that's
the
what I
white cloaks
mean.
camp.
Yeah. That rusty ass bitch. It's so funny. Like, I think I didn't recognize him when he first came in to the camp because I'd like missed his teeth. And then it's just like once he smiled, you're like, oh yeah, no, that's totally
Like, how do you have
bad.
evil teeth?
Evil
How do you
teeth.
do that?
Very front and center.
How does one have evil teeth? How do you? I can't even understand how that's a thing, but
And
it
it's
is.
crazy that we understand the teeth to be evil or even interpret it because it's not like he's a vampire or a Trolloc or a Fade or any of these monsters that,
Right.
but somehow,
Something about that smile is just so evil.
yeah, it's because he doesn't give a fuck. He's he's fighting
He's
for
a
a
good
greater
face
purpose.
actor,
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah. Shout out to him. He's like, listen, we're gonna wait for the Trollocs to destroy you, like your village, and then we're gonna come back for you, says Lord Bornhald, the ferocious, the
Lord Bornhold
jaded,
the drunk.
the feral.
Well, Loyal's trying to fulfill his toe,
Yeah.
which does not work. So the plan is send Loyal to close the Waygate. We joked about bricking it up, but apparently there is a way to
Yeah.
get rid of a Waygate. If not close it, then destroy it. Matt's sisters get to find out that he is kind of a hero,
Hero.
which I was happy that they got that.
And I'm happy that they clowned him right after for that
Yeah,
photo.
the
For that
sheep
for that.
tutor is such little sister behavior. I love it.
Yeah. I love those
I
moments
had
of
a
levity.
question. The dark friends that were at the Waygate, was one of them an Aes Sedai? Is that how they opened it? Because remember we were like, is there a dark friend Ogier? But we didn't see
Hmm.
one. So
No, we
was it
didn't.
just a Black Aja sister opening the Waygate? There was that one lady there, so I wondered if maybe she was.
I couldn't see. It
Because
was
like I
kind of
didn't see
dark on
like a
my thing.
ring or anything.
Yeah. Huh.
Hmm. I just wondered how they were opening it, or if there's just like some other way to do it
There
that dark
must
friends
be.
know about.
Yeah, there must be.
So the first time I cried in this episode was
Oy.
when they were getting ready to fight and parents started singing the song.
So that's the first time you cried?
That was the first time I cried.
Yeah, I figured that.
I'm a sucker for a hymn. And the way they sang it, there's something about it just like hit my soul. And I could feel myself tearing up. And I was like, bitch, are you crying?
Like, why isn't Lady Tanya in battle? She's crying from the song. She's sobbing on the bench. And where did she get that tankard? We don't
Weep
know.
for Manetheren. I love
Gave
that
weight on the
song.
water a little bit.
It was giving weight in the water. Like
Yeah, weight in the water. I was like, wait a second. Okay.
it
Okay.
definitely was. And so I loved it. I love that parents started it and that everybody, knew their parts.
It's not the hills of Tanchico, but
But it's a good
still a
song.
banger.
It's a banger. It's a banger. What did you think about this battle in general?
The aware part of me that was like separated from the show was like, whew. I love a battle episode because that means I'm taking fewer notes. There's a lot of fighting that's happening. I expected the battle to happen fairly quickly. And the fun thing for me was when they show all the fortifications. I'm like, oh yeah, they may not be soldiers, but they know how to work with all of these elements they have around them.
They used what they
They were
had, and
not
you
ill
noticed there
prepared.
was very little metal. There was a lot of
Very
wood,
little,
a lot of
lots.
sharpened wood.
So they're handy and resourceful. And I really enjoyed seeing that. It's like, because they're taking it seriously and they're sick of getting massacred, you know?
Yeah,
Like, it's about time we defended ourselves because we don't live the way of the leaf. Was I worried for them? Yes, but I had a good feeling about this battle all along. I was like, you know what? Two Rivers needs a win. They've been being fucked up, you know?
yeah,
People
yeah.
are dying, being kidnapped, burnt at the stake. Like, it's time for a win. And here's someone who went away and came back, like with these golden eyes, and he's fighting for us, so it must be a good sign.
And there's an Aes Sedai again.
And there's an Ice to Die again. She got healed. Bitch is back on the board.
I love the ice daggers
Yeah.
raining down on the Trolloc. Shout out to her and her precision that she didn't kill
Mm-hmm.
villagers with it.
Nope.
I loved the wisdom throwing down her flask, like, oh shit, like this is some real shit. I was sad to see her die.
Great shield though.
Great shield, great shield, but you know, she's unpracticed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I imagine that's the first time she's probably done a shield, and it
Yeah.
was probably instinct to protect
Yep.
herself.
Mm-hmm.
This was the thing that I was like, come on. When that giant arrow went through Alana, there's no way she should have survived that. Like she should have died instantly.
I'm
It
making
looked
a
like
face.
it looked like it went through her heart. They could have made it go
It
to the
did.
side a little bit
That's a lung, at
because
least.
yeah, because the wisdom when it goes through her, she just drops dead.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that I was like, they should have made it not go right through the middle because
Yeah.
it was giving Arya getting sliced up in the stomach and falling into a river and then just getting patched up and
Or
running
Jamie
the streets
Lannister
again
falling into water with his
with
full armor
armor
on.
on. Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
will never not be mad about that. He should have died that
He
episode.
should have drowned. He should have drowned that episode. But that was the only thing that I was kind of like
She,
that should have killed her.
the first time I teared up was actually Alana and Maxim smooching it up. And I was like, "Aw, yay, they're gonna do their own thing."
It had the opposite effect on me. I was like, listen, Maxim, I enjoyed his war speech. He almost won his way back into my heart as my bisexual king.
Mm.
But I'm still upset about him walking away
He's in
because
the
he
court.
almost got
He's
her
not the
killed.
king. He did, but yeah, I understand that. But now it's for the greater the wheel and the
It's for
light.
the wheel. It's for Alana. But I
You gotta have that good sex before battle.
well, yeah,
They'll be fine.
yeah. I just feel like she should get to like stab him or something
Maybe
just to make
later.
it even.
Maybe that was part of their sex. You never know.
That's true. She should get to stab him a few times and like, you know, heal him after,
Yeah,
but
of
just like
course.
make
That's
him
what I'm
feel
saying.
some yeah, just stab him up a little
A
bit.
little knife
Just
play.
a little punishment for leaving me to get shot up with arrows. You know, maybe wait a day to heal him, let him sit with it.
They might not have time for that. The way she keeps getting, you know, pinned up.
When the girls had trouble healing her, there was a brief
Hmm.
moment that I actually thought she might die.
I was like, holy shit. Not only are the most powerful channelers here, but also they get blocked so easily. Like, what is that side of this of these people? And I was a little bit worried. And I was like, oh my God, so they're gonna traumatize these girls again.
I
Like they
know.
can't do anything to help. And yeah, that sucks. So glad to see it wasn't a permanent problem.
Well, the two rivers put up a hell of a fucking fight. A lot of
Hmm.
them got taken out, but they put up a really good fight. And then the
They should
white
be
cloak show up
proud.
to help. And as soon as the white cloak showed up, I was like, oh no, because I
Same.
knew Pattern Fane was gonna be showing up.
Hmm.
Oh, and that moment when he sees him and he's like, block the doors. I was like, no.
Yeah. Giving the Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Giving. Tywin Lannister at the gates. I just knew I was like, now they're on the inside. You guys are not overrun, but there's a whole bunch of people coming through that door.
Right. People who you think are helping. And now it's at a point where how do you know who to kill? Because
How do
they
you
have white
know?
cloaks on. Like, okay, maybe the ones who don't, you're like, I don't know that guy. Let me kill him. But like the ones with white cloaks, how do you know which ones are for you and which ones
Yeah.
are not?
And it's like, okay, well, you'd think it's the ones fighting the dark friends, but the dark friends look like you.
Right. And it's dark out. Like we're
You
not
know,
wearing
like
fucking team jerseys, you know?
exactly.
we're not fly- we're not
And
wearing
the ones wearing
house
the team
colors.
jerseys, like they're all corrupt. Like you don't know who to pick off. So yeah, that's a very tough uh situation to walk into.
Yeah. There was a moment where Perrin and Bornhald were fighting next to each other, and Perrin turned his back, and I was scared that Bornhald was gonna strike him.
Mm. I did not have that fear for some reason. I
No?
feel like at this point, like I'm just watching storytelling elements take their their course. And like, what setup do we need to go into next
Yeah.
season? Because
Yeah.
we're not coming back here. And if we come back here, it's briefly to bury the dead and move on. However, and we need to know that Fail and the Aiel are whatever they're doing. They gotta mend their fences because Perrin is an honorable dude and he's gonna hold up his end of the deal.
Yeah. The second time I cried.
Are we there already?
Yes, I'm so soft. Women's circle, hold the line. And then
Oh,
they put
that's
up
the
the
second time
shields,
you cried.
and I burst into tears.
Wow. Huh.
I don't know what it was. Both times I watched. Both
Yeah, I
times I
got
watched, I
goosebumps.
cried.
Didn't cry.
No, I straight up cried. Like I don't know, it just did something to me. Like seeing them fight like that. Again, these are regular people. These aren't soldiers.
Mm-mm.
And they put up such a fucking fight, and like even like their shield formation and the fact that it's the women of the town and not all of them are young women.
No, no, no. They're not.
You know, it's all ages and they're ready to fucking go. I imagine if the Aiel had been there and seen that, they would have been proud.
Absolutely. I was proud of them
I
and
was so
I
proud of them.
I enjoyed seeing that because, the women's circle is the women's circle. Like they have a camaraderie that you don't see amongst the men because there's this whole rite of passage and
Mm-hmm.
thing that happens. So they're bound to each other. So it was nice to see them rally with the willingness to give it all. Everywhere you turned, you saw somebody who was ready to die trying.
Yeah. Because what
About
do?
this life.
Do you lay down and let the Trollocs just come kill you? No. You fight back to save your life.
Yeah, because even if like imagine thinking like, oh no, someone has fallen on top of me. I'm just going to play dead. The Trollocs are not like,
They'll eat
you know,
you.
they're gonna come back and like stab everyone through the throat
They'll
and
come
then
and rip
chew
your
on it.
belly open.
Yeah, so that was super inspiring, but I was glad to see everybody just be down for the cause. Like this is your home. This is your last stand.
It's like the complete opposite of the Tuathan.
Yeah,
You know,
literally.
they didn't start this fight. They didn't want it, but they're not
Mm-mm.
gonna lay down and just die, and they're not gonna leave their home either. And I
Mm-hmm.
respect it.
Where are you guys gonna go after the battle? Like you have our kids and shit, but that wasn't a foolproof plan either, was it?
No, not really. Not really. As they get pushed back, the Tuathan, it's time for them to escape with the children. So I thought that Aram might choose to fight. I
Me
was kind of
too.
getting that vibe from him.
It really seemed to me like he was itching to. Like he wants to stand up and defend.
Yeah.
And I somehow just don't see him walking that path forever. Maybe there's great hero in him
Walking which
somewhere.
path? The way of the leaf?
Yeah,
Well, he's been kicked out now.
holding that weapon.
Just the way he was talking about, his grandfather dying, him just going ahead and eating the soup, even though it wasn't vegetarian.
Yep.
all of the things he was saying made me think that he was going to be like, you know what, train me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to fight too.
Yeah.
I
I
was
didn't think
kind
he
of
would
waiting
go
for
that
it.
far. I think that like I felt that it would be opportunistic, which it was. But like, whew, man, can you imagine trying to run for your lives and the babies are crying? It just made me think about history and everything I know about it, and I'm just like, wow.
When he was hiding wearing the baby and the baby started to cry, my stomach dropped.
I'm
But I
saying,
was like, there's no way they're going to see like a baby get ripped apart. Like, they're not going to do that to us. Right.
nah,
Like, it's
bridge too
not that
far.
kind of show. Yeah, it's too
It's not
far.
George.
Yeah, it's not George R. R.
It's
Martin. Like,
not
that would be
George.
too far. So I figured something would happen. I also didn't think Aram was gonna die.
Yeah. No, I think like live to see another day. And I thought it would be some protection things. So I was really honestly, I was really happy. I was like, sorry, moms, but
But like, is he
like I
supposed to
can't.
lay there and like let the baby get killed and then just lay down and die too?
Yeah.
That's what I can't get with the way of the leaf. Like, I get, all right, we're not gonna hunt, we're not gonna hurt people,
Hmm.
we'll gentle parent and all of that. But I'm defending myself. Like, if I feel like it goes against human instinct
Yeah,
to
it
not
does.
defend yourself.
I think so. Yeah.
Like, where's
I'm
the
not lame.
survival instinct?
I'm not just going to lay down. That doesn't
Yeah,
mean that I want to fight either, but
right.
I'm not going to, this is literally life or death. I'm not.
Like, where's the
Mm.
survival instinct?
Well, they're not violent, so they don't beat it out of them.
In the woods, the Tuathauan get run the fuck down by
Yeah.
Trollocs. I hope most of them made it, especially
You
since they have
know,
all the kids.
yeah, for real, for real. And I was honestly thinking, I'm like, I know that you guys got away last time that way, right? Like you guys were able to run and hide. Like, do this tunnel. I kind of wanted them to stay in the tunnel. You know,
Yeah, it probably
like
would have been a
maybe
good
staying in the
idea.
tunnel would have been enough to save everybody. I don't know. There was a lot of trust being placed in the Leaf followers because run where? Like, did you guys
Right,
rehearse this? Where are you guys gonna, you just gonna be out in the woods?
right.
There was no plan. Wasn't a fan of that part. I really wonder why they didn't stay, but I understand we've got to develop characters, so we put them in danger.
Of
Yes,
course, of
yes.
course.
Yes, yes.
Well, Aram killed a Trolloc, and his grandma saw him with the knife, and she was so disappointed.
Mm,
And I stood up and like was about to swing on my TV, and then I realized I was about to swing on my TV, so I stopped
yeah.
myself.
Mm.
I was like, "Don't break your TV," but I was about to slap her through the screen for the way she was looking at him.
Live to look at him in this way or be dead. Like she's like really able to like survive all these things. Maybe her ass is fighting on the low when nobody can watch.
This is like, Grandma, do you actively want me to die?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's a Trolloc on top of me, and there's a knife next to me, and you want
It
me to just die? I think they take it too literally.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It makes me just think about them and be like, well, we bury our dead and we move on, but like, are you not walking with the weight of the dead upon you like the
Yeah,
entire way? Is that why you guys are so peaceful? Because you're actually depressed from
right.
watching people die around you? And like maybe it's survivor's guilt that's keeping them on their way. But, no, no. Like you have to train yourself to put your arms. Maybe that's part of their training, like part of their lifestyle. Like, okay, we're gonna pretend to punch you in the face. Just like don't flinch because this is what it's gonna be like. And this is how you take a punch. But they can't do that either. So it's like the philosophy is beautiful.
In
It
theory.
is.
Yeah.
But if you were gonna punch me, like I would put my fist up.
Right.
I'd be
Like,
protecting my face. Like, how do you stop
I get
that?
that. I get, like, in a fight with another human, if you're just on the defensive, fine. You're just blocking shots and you're not fighting back. But a wild animal monster is about to rip you apart. There's no like on the defensive, don't fight back.
You know that one of my worst fears is being eaten alive. So
One
yeah,
of
no.
my like irrational fears is that there's a chimpanzee on the loose while I'm out. That's like one of my deep irrational fears is that like I don't know that there's a chimp on the loose like in Harlem.
And
And
it
I'm
picks
just
you
like walking home.
specifically.
Yeah, and I'm just walking home and I see a chimp and now I have to hurry up and get inside and like unlock the door and hurry, hurry the kids in so the chimp doesn't catch up to me.
And you know what? You don't speak sign language. So if the chimp was like, I come in peace, she'd still be like, ah.
Yeah, I'd be running away because I'd be afraid it was going to claw my face off.
I mean, fair. But you
It's
could
a
just
thing
throw
they
snacks
do.
outside. It is a thing they do randomly.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's
It's
one of
like
my
when little kids are
irrational.
having such a good time, like they don't know how to control themselves, so they have to bite another kid to like express that joy.
Hey, don't
Chimps are
bring
like
don't bring
that.
Grimlock into this.
I was thinking about my little poo poo. I can't believe that those were the two times that you cried.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Dang.
just something so like inspirational and just like that drive to fight for your home. Like not like I've ever had to fight for my home or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have not I have
Not
not
yet.
faced much adversity, but but there was just something with both of those scenes, there was just something so beautiful and inspiring and like
Mm-hmm.
heartwarming in a way.
Yeah.
It just felt really sweet and I liked seeing everyone come together. I liked everyone being so bold and so fierce
Mm-hmm.
and ready to fuck shit up on behalf of their homes, their families. I would hope that I would be like that if I were faced with a threat against my family. Like, I hope that I would have the courage to hold up a shield and a spear and fuck up a monster to protect mine.
I was meditating at my parents' house, and my nephew was sitting out with me. It was dark. We had like a whole vibe. I like changed the lighting on the deck as I want to do. And there was a fox like just walking around like back in the woods. And fox screams, all that shit. And I remember thinking, it's like if that fox has rabies and like were to come up here and like try to fight one, like to eat or bite one of us, I will die to protect my nephew. Like if anybody came here right now, like I would push his little ass inside and I would die fighting to protect him. So yeah, I think I got it. It was just like a fox.
Yeah.
It was a fox. I have a question for you though.
Yes.
Do you think that you could deliver a great battlefield speech?
No. No, I don't. You would think, it's ironic. I am bad at words considering I am a lawyer, but inspirational speech is like so not me. I think that Radar would be able to do it.
Mm,
He's the speech one in our
yeah,
family. Like he can
yeah,
do a speech.
yeah.
I think I'd be like, "Are you motherfuckers ready to rock?" And they'd be like, "What is she talking about?" No, I don't
Uh,
think I have
I
inspirational
would
speech.
support you if that was your speech. I'd be like, yeah.
Let's go fuck shit up.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you think you could do an
Oh
inspirational
yeah, I
speech?
have like 20 in my head right now. I can see myself on a horse walking down like going up and down the line or just like standing on like 20 boxes so everyone can see me like doing the speech. Yeah, I would love to give a
My
battlefield.
speech would be, "Do you want to die today?" No, right? All right. So like, let's do this.
Ah, oh no, I love a story. Yeah, I'd tell a great speech.
I would lead a song. If I had like a cool
See?
Manetheren song or something like that, I would totally lead a song.
Yeah.
I could
See,
see
we all
myself
have our
doing that
strengths.
part. Yeah, I could see myself doing that part, like knowing which song is the right one for the moment. I think I
Mm.
could do that
Now I want this opportunity to come up in D&D.
for me to just start singing a song.
Yeah, like you can sing a song, I'll do a battlefield speech, and like they just wouldn't be like, "What the fuck are you guys we're doing?"
Just staring at us like, are you done?
No. Verse 3. Meanwhile,
Loyal.
I sobbed. Yeah.
I cried 3 times in this episode.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about. I tried so hard not to be jaded. at this scene. Like he's hitting the things and obviously it's not working, right? I'm like, okay, well, we got to try something else. Maybe there's obviously some protection of this thing. It couldn't have been that easy. There's no way. But then I see the Trollocs coming and he's starting to panic and I'm like, if this turns into suddenly there's somebody magical here to help and protect him, I was gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
If it turned out into some you shall not pass thing, I was going to be pissed. If it turned into that scene from Lord of the Rings, I was going to be mad no matter what happened. But I also knew that there was no way that he could defeat a bunch of Trollocs.
No.
I did have glimmer of hope that maybe there were other builders coming. I was like, oh
Mm.
my God, how cool would that be if they're like, we gotta fight, we know what's going on.
Oh,
Uh,
I would have loved that
it
actually.
would have been so cool,
If like
right?
the builders have learned what's happening with the way gates and they've come out of their settings because they don't want the way
Exactly.
gates to be sullied.
Like I was like, that's the type of extra help that I was like being like, okay, that I could stand.
But
But
we would have
we
had
know.
to have like some type of notice about the Ogiers knowing about this though. If they just showed up randomly in this episode, it'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So they would have had to have dropped hints leading
The
up to it.
Baelish mail.
Dude.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So those are the things that I would have been like cool with. But when I realized what he was doing, I thought that it was going to break up, the passageway ahead of him
Me
and that
too.
he would be able to like disobey parents' order. But I was like, wait, no, no. He's told him not to come back. So he's going to like, fuck it up and like die fighting and they're gonna come through and everyone's gonna die. But I knew that's not what we are gonna get this episode. So I gasped because the wrong side of the pathway fell. And
Hmm.
I just stood there with my hands on my face and tears coming down like until the credits rolled.
I also thought that he was just gonna break a hole in the bridge that the Trollocs couldn't pass.
Yeah.
Like they would like something where they couldn't leap over, like a chasm, you know?
Exactly.
I thought
Exactly.
that that's what was going to happen until I saw the ground shift under his feet. And I was like, wait, is this what he's doing? And then realizing that's what he meant to do, it hit
Hmm.
me like Hodor.
Yeah.
It was my
Yeah.
hold the door moment.
Yeah.
Because what I thought he was going to do when he first got to the Waygate, I thought he was going to destroy the Avendasora leaf.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I thought that would be the way to keep the gate closed forever, but obviously
Yeah.
that's too easy
That is too
and not
easy.
heart wrenching enough.
Oh, man. It was terrible. It was
It was
terrible.
so sad, but
And then his last entry into the book, I was like, I knew it wasn't done crying yet because oh my God.
because
Oh,
he knew he was
that's
going there to die. And like to think he did this sacrifice
mm-hmm.
for people he just met,
Yeah.
that's so powerful.
It was.
It should have sparked some kind of like special magic.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Loyal. You
Rest in
were
peace
loyal.
to the end. He's always loyal.
I did love him and the Aiel showing up to fight and just like tearing shit up. I had a moment where I thought one of the Aiel might die
Hmm.
right before the Waygate exploded. One of them was on the ground and it looked like she was about to get hit with like a killing blow.
Hmm.
But the Waygate exploded and threw everything off. So I was happy that she survived. But I was scared that one of them was going to die. I thought that might
Yeah.
actually happen.
Mm.
Were you worried for them at all?
I kind of expected all three of them to die this episode, to be completely honest.
Hmm.
But now you've got more women to train everybody. So great.
Before Loyal started hammering the ground in front of him to fall, he started humming the Manetherin song.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
before he started humming, I thought he was going to do like the builder singing and that
That's what I
something
thought
would
too.
grow. I
Mm.
thought it was going to like bring some type of life back to the ways and like something would grow, like a
Hmm.
I
A
don't know,
wall
create kind
or
of a wall or
something. Yeah.
something to help him. That's what I or even like something to seal the way gate. Like I
Yeah.
thought that that's what he was gonna do when he started singing, and then I realized he was singing the Manetherin song, and my heart exploded.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
It was a hard one. The thing that I liked about going into the battle, we talked about the women's circle, but that moment where Perrin is like, kill everybody that I don't. If I miss anybody, just like take them out. And I really enjoy that fighting style because
Mhm.
you see Perrin coming, but you don't see her because she's so tiny.
Yeah,
You know,
she just
she's
like
just like
jumps up, stab, stab, stab.
stab, just finishing everybody off. And I really, really enjoyed that. So, Perrin and Pat and Fane, dude.
Well, I was really excited when Perrin picked up the hammer.
Mm,
And I've been calling it
you love a
Mjolnir this whole
hammer.
time. I fucking love a warhammer, dude. I love a warhammer. It's so brutal, and like you have to be so strong to wield it. It's
Mm.
just I don't know. Warhammers just do something to me. I don't
Yeah,
know what it
warhammers and
is.
great axes, those are your poison.
Yes, warhammers and great axes. Oh my gosh, if I were a warrior, like those would be my weapons.
Mm.
He picks up his hammer and I cheered. And then Egwene's
Woohoo!
mom was stabbing Trollocs in the legs and shit, and I was cheering at that. Like this whole episode, I was yelling, I was crying, I was wanting to hit the TV. I picked up my baby and kissed him in the eyeball because I was about to kiss his face, but his nose was running.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So I kissed him right in the eye. It was just I had so many feelings. I was just feeling so many things, and I posted
Yeah.
on our account. I was like, fictional characters should not make me feel so many feelings.
Hmm.
Like I had to be like, Tanya, it's not real. It's not real to
Yes,
like
it
bring
is.
myself down.
You literally just saw it happen right in front of you.
My adrenaline was just like through the roof. I stood for a lot of this episode.
Did you?
Yeah. I just kept
I couldn't
standing up.
stand.
I just kept standing up and I was just standing there.
I mean, that's why I texted you. I was able to watch this episode like fairly early in the day since I wasn't working. And, Tanya and I try not to text each other spoilers. We like work really hard to avoid that. And when the episode was over, like I was hyped. I was like, we got to stream right now. Let's do a live. Like we can just be like, just like reactions, no spoilers, and then dive into it. And Tanya's like, Nikki, we're just gonna record one episode. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I
but
talked
I
her
was like,
down.
watch it first, watch it first, watch it first. Yeah, I was so amped that I hit up AK and I was like, yo, are you doing a reaction video? Because I want to get on and talk about it. And she hadn't watched it yet and wasn't gonna watch it until that evening. So I was able to keep it together. You know what I did? I watched an episode of Black Mirror, but yeah, that's what I need. I needed something else after this. And I just sat on the couch and I just watched the credits and I was like, "Whew, I want to watch this again, but I need time to process." It was like that.
Child Valda
That bitch.
finally gets what's coming to him. When he showed up and Alana was like laying there dying, I was like, there's no fucking way that they're gonna let him kill Alana while she's down. Just
Yeah.
no way. He can't have that. I would have been enraged. Like, no, he does not get another one.
No. He does not get another one. I was going to be really upset. I thought Alana was somehow going to magically rally to protect the girls, but that's not what happened.
No, that is not what happened. I also thought that Alana might use like her last bit of energy to
Hmm.
kill him to save the girls and then like die since they couldn't really heal her.
Yeah,
But he sparked something in those girls.
quite literally.
Yeah. And I didn't get the pleasure of him having his hands cut off first, but him dying screaming while being burned alive was very fitting.
Some of those screams were pretty funny. I don't know if you went back and listened. I did.
No.
And when it happened, I honestly was still a little bit disappointed because I wanted him to die. I don't think I was ready for him to die yet. And it's not that it wasn't horrible enough, but I was like, all right. I literally said, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I still wish his hands got sliced off first.
Who did I say that I wanted to kill him last time? Who deserved it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but y'all do.
Like
Maybe.
I wish one sister like sliced his hands off, and he sees his hands fall, and he's like, and then the other one lit him on
Mm-mm.
fire, and he burns to death.
Well, that's in the advanced classes, so
Yeah,
they weren't there yet.
requires
Uh,
precision they don't have. That's
it
fair. That's
does, it
fair.
does. But it was great to see them literally light him up and to have him die screaming.
Yes,
So,
I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
He's I love to hate Child Balda,
me too.
so I'm
But,
gonna miss him.
it's okay because Pat and Fane is still alive.
Patton Fane is still alive. How did Patton Fane survive a warhammer to the back of the neck?
Mm. Benefits of being a dark one? I have no idea.
That should have killed him. That's another moment where I was like, I think I should have killed you.
Like, why isn't he dead?
Definitely shouldn't be conscious.
Mm-mm. His
So
parent was pulling his punches.
I guess I told myself, you know what? I saw it wrong. It hit him between the shoulder blades or something. I don't know.
It's a go back and look.
Because I was
Just
like,
threw him to
ooh,
the
you
ground.
shouldn't live through that.
But then you find out that he's one of our favorite types of evil characters. He's like, I don't give a fuck about you. I
I'm
am
like, I
serving the Dark
literally don't
Lord.
care. I don't care about you. People like hate you. I don't care about. I don't even think about you.
No. I'm just not even I was just following orders. Like if he told me to come back here with 20 ballerinas, I would be back here with
But
20
I love
ballerinas.
that kind of evil. Like
Exactly.
I'm evil because I'm evil. No, I
Yep.
didn't have a bad childhood. No, nobody hurt me. No, I like doing bad things. I love
Mhm.
that.
Me too. Love a villain
He's like, I
who,
don't hate you guys. You did nothing wrong to me. I
yeah,
just like to be evil and work with the Dark Lord. And he said to wipe you off the map. And so I'm going to do it.
exactly. Sorry, bro.
Like from the mothers to the children to the crones, like everybody can get it. I don't care.
He
I'm
doesn't
just
care.
evil.
And he's not even asking why these people specifically, right? He's
No,
just like, whatever, I'm just here.
time to
This is
go
what,
kill some folks. All
yeah,
right, I'll
all
do
right.
it.
Bye.
I love that kind of evil. I thought he was going to die. I thought
I
Perrin
thought
was
so
going to kill
too.
him.
I thought
And
so
I heard
too.
Fael yelling, like, kill him. And then he's like,
Hmm.
why did you do this? I was like, why are you talking?
We always know this is where things go wrong. He got lucky.
He should have never let him go. I get that he wanted him to call off the attacks,
Hmm.
but as soon as he called off the attack, I would have taken his head off.
I think that would have caused the people, the dark friends to rally and just wipe out the rest of them.
You think so?
Kill. Yeah, yeah. It's not like he was like he's controlling them, but
Well, he's controlling the
you know,
Trollocs, not
you
the
know what I mean? He's
people. Yeah.
controlling the Trollocs, so like what's to stop them from going there and be like, oh yeah, okay, our leader's dead now. Someone else needs to be in charge, so let's fight for that spot
But can
vibes.
they fight as well without Trollocs helping them? Maybe they'd be scared that the Trollocs left.
Maybe.
I don't know. I was like, he needs to die because he's just gonna come back.
Yeah.
But
Something more
the
devastating.
story must go on.
Hmm.
I don't think we're gonna see the Two Rivers for a while, especially since Perrin gave
Nah.
himself up to be arrested.
No, no, no. I think that's it. I think that's it for the like, we'll get maybe the beginning of the episode, them burying their dead and like, to River slightly in mourning and Perrin on his way with the White Cloaks to wherever they're planning to take him. But yeah, I think that's it. We don't see them again until next season. Because part of me thought that, oh, maybe this is a situation where they like pick up and they go somewhere, but they don't need to now.
No, they
No,
saved
they
their
defended
home.
their home. They get to stay there.
Do you think Fail will stay there?
No,
Do you think
no.
she's gonna follow Perrin?
I think she's gonna follow Perrin and try to hatch a plan to save him.
What do you think about Perrin giving himself up for arrest?
I think that it's the Perrin thing to do because he
Yeah.
doesn't want to fight. That's has been his whole thing. He's like, I will fight if we have to, but I don't want to fight and I don't want any more violence to come here. Um, and if this is how I can save my people, then this is what I'll do it. What I think is probably going to happen is that Fael is somehow going to fuck up in her hunt for them, and that Perrin is going to be forced to choose to have to save her. And
Hmm.
enter the wolves.
Yeah, we need some wolf action.
Yeah.
We
You
need
even
some
think
wolf
about it.
action.
Maybe on your long walk to wherever with the white cloaks, you like maybe start practicing your wolfie skills.
Yeah,
Ooh.
maybe this next season will be like some of Perrin's journey. And we'll get
Hmm.
into like the wolf dreams and
Yeah.
all of those things.
He's got to find a new hopper.
Yeah. Because I do believe that they are going to put him on trial. I don't think they're just going to like take him and execute him on the road.
No, no, no. He's earned that much.
Yeah.
He's earned that much.
Our little channeling babies ask Alana if they're going to go to the tower, but they're not. So it looks like Alana's planning to stay a little
Girl, they're
longer.
like, she's like, girls, do you know how far that is?
Yeah, like,
There's no Waygate
and
anymore.
yeah, there's no more Waygate, and that's gonna take mad long. I'm not going.
Yeah. But you guys are special. You sang the song. Now you're committed. Let's see what we can do. I mean, makes you wonder, are there other channelers amongst these children and the women? I feel like this women's circle's got to erupt with at least one.
I feel really bad that the wisdom died. I really didn't want her to die because she seemed so cool, and I wanted to get to know her.
Hmm.
When Alana asked her to help, and she's like, "Do I have to stop drinking?" Like I laughed out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she's not going to.
She's like,
Great.
"I'm not joining your little child army." I was like, "I love her."
Right? Because that's what she's seeing. She's like, oh, this is what we're doing. This is our best shot. Yeah. I'm gonna
I would have
go
loved to get to
drink.
know her some more. So I'm bummed that she died. I will never forgive Isla, Aram's grandma.
Hila.
I'll never forgive her.
Me neither.
Poor Aram. He's devastated. And that's the thing too. He didn't want to kill. He just wanted to live.
Yeah.
And that they shun people who fight back is so extreme to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, you don't get even one?
Not
Like a
even
wild
one.
animal trying to kill you? You don't even get that one? I saved a
Dude,
baby.
I saved a baby. No, no,
Well, Aram
no.
gets to stay in the Two Rivers, potentially becoming their new blacksmith.
Woohoo!
So I'm happy he has that.
Yeah. If you can't wield the tools, then you might as well make them.
Yeah. I do think Aram is going to learn to fight. I don't know. I just feel like he is. I just get that feeling from him. Like
Yeah.
he wants to know how to protect himself. He doesn't like this whole lay down and take it shit.
No, not at all. And like, watching the recap where he talks about violence and fighting, he's a little gleeful. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
he's into it.
when Ela said that Harren should have been with them, he was like, yeah, and he'd be dead too. Like he's not happy with this. And I guess has he didn't have his Rumspringer yet, right?
Probably not.
So I think had he done it, he wouldn't have come back to the Way of the Leaf if
I
he'd
think
had a chance to go and do it.
no. I think he would have just been out in the world.
So, well, now he is.
Good replacement for Perrin.
Yeah. Maybe he'll meet a nice Two Rivers girl. Lord Perrin, Goldeneyes.
That made me smile so
I
big.
loved that. Yeah. I loved that when the White Cloaks came to take him, everybody put their hand on their weapon
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you're not. No, you're not. They were ready to keep it going. Their
Yeah.
bloodlust was up.
Yeah. They're like, no, look at what they accomplished already, right?
Yeah.
Like, how dare you come back and take our leader? He clued y'all in. But, Perrin wants them to know that this is not the only way.
It's not the only way.
It's not the only way.
The Way of the Leaf is not for him, but he's also not a monster.
Yeah.
And he didn't let all this violence corrupt him.
Hmm.
Good fight. Good episode.
All hail the penultimate battle. We
So I
needed
guess
that.
next episode it's gonna be Rand, Elida.
Red.
We never met General Brine.
No, we didn't. So maybe that's something we see. I mean, every once in a while they'll kind of tease a new character. You're like, I don't really know who that is, but okay.
There's a lot left for one more episode.
Well, I don't think that I've been disappointed with any of the final episodes or like with the other two. Say any, like there's 50. With the other two final episodes, I've always felt pretty fulfilled, if I remember correctly, and I probably am not remembering correctly, but I'm excited for it.
I just feel like there's so much left to tie up. So
Well,
we have
they're
the
pretty good at that.
Elida and Suan
Hmm.
situation.
Yep.
We gotta see what happens with them. We have Rand and the Aiel and escaping the desert, I imagine.
Hmm. We have Elaine and Nynaeve and the missing horn, and Matt and Min and Leandrin.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you know how long the next episode is supposed to be?
No idea. I bet it's like an hour and like 8 minutes or something.
3 hours. Let me see. Episode 8 is supposed to be 68 minutes.
Oh, wait, how long did I say? An hour and what?
I don't know.
Damn.
Too much time went by.
I have to go back and listen to that because I feel like I may have nailed it.
Well, rest in peace, Loyal. I'm gonna pour one out for him. Shout out to his book. I hope
Shout out
everyone
to his
reads
book.
it.
Yeah. I hope
I
someone
love this show.
continues it.
Yeah.
I hope someone continues it. Well,
That's been episode 7. I've been Tanya.
I'm always Nikki.
And we will see you for our final episode 8.
Bye.
For previous episodes, find us at thousandeyespod.bsky.social. On YouTube, you can find us at 1,000 Eyes in One Podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are 1,000 Eyes in One on Instagram and Facebook, 1,000 Eyes Pod on Blue Sky, and if you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, follow Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.